Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Thursday, and I think it's the 18th of July in the year 2024. And I say I think because I've looked at these dates. I watch these dates every day. So, but I know it is 18th, yeah, because, let me look at this and make sure here. It is, I believe it's the 18th. Okay, now that I don't check these out before I come on the air. I come on the internet, but it's Thursday, and you know what day it is, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go with thanking God for being here today and for everything He's done for us, He's doing for us, and He will do for us. And today we're going to talk about different types of personalities. And this is, I know we talked about personalities, we're going to talk about different types of people today. And this is very interesting, so we can understand more when we know more. If we know more, we can understand more. So I'm trying to get this set on my telephone here so that I can get it right here. So, okay, make sure I get it right here. And it's not going to do what I wanted to do, but I'm here. Okay, did I pray? Well, let me go ahead. I'm gonna get it together. I have it together. We're doing more than one thing here, two, three, four things. Because I'm so excited about being on here today. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Oh man, different types of people different types of people we're talking about today. And one study in psychology today tells us that there are five types of people, and then there's another study that tells us that there are 16 different types of people. So I'm going to explore each of those because it's very interesting. So we have run into people sometimes we don't know what's happening with people today because we don't understand the psychology of it. But we're going to go ahead and go into that. I'm trying to get my monitor on here, trying to get it going here. But I want to make sure that I have it focused here because I don't want to miss anything you have to say. And I might have to turn this. I don't want to. I guess I'm going to have to turn that and then go back. I hope you're feeling well today. I am feeling great and I am so thankful for everything that's happening in my life. I'm grateful to God because He's blessed all of us to live to see another day. If you're watching this, you are blessed above measure. Blessed above measure. That's a post I need to just go, and then I can go into showing Discord, Discord. Okay, there I am. I can see you see me now. Oh, and I have the wrong thing up there. Let me go and change this because this is point of view. I did not change my heading here, so let me go there and change that. Yes, I have to change that. And put point of view on here. And the other day, I was in a rush and I saw where I had uh, put more letters. So anyway, misspelled some things. Okay, got it. Got that. And then our topic is different types of people. Types. All right, different types of people. got that, got that. And so I'm going to do this right quick. Make sure I have everything right here. Make sure that I have everything right. Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. Got it. So that'll give us all time to get ourselves ready for this subject today. Different types of people. We know that we've seen people. It seems like one day they're one way, the next day they're another way. So we're going to talk about these different types of people, and I am very, very interested in the different types of people here. So let me get this. Psychology today says there are five different types of people, and then the site personality data.org tells us that there are 16 types of people. So I am going to go here, first, the 16 personality types on personalitydata.com. So there's a grid here, and I'm not going to pull that grid up. Uh, but I'm going to talk about these 16 uh, types of personality that they're talking about here on this study. And it is going to tell you, and it's asking a question, which one are you? Can you describe yourself in this? It's 16 personality types. And it shows 16 types of personality according to Myers-Briggs model. According to the Myers, Myers-Briggs model. Okay? So we have the architect, we have the logician, we have the commander, we have the debater. These are types with an analytical focus. Types with an analytical focus. And then we have the advocate, the mediator, the protagonist, and the campaigner. And these are types with resolve focus. Then we have types with leadership focus, which is a logistician, the defender, the executive, and the consul. Then we have the types with creative focus, which is virtuoso, adventurer, entrepreneur, and the entertainer. And there are the four letters of Myers-Briggs, the four dichotomies which comprise your Myers-Briggs type. And then there's this grid here. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what's in this grid. And extroversion versus introversion. Do you know whether you're an extrovert or an introvert or an ambivert? Do you know? So we're going to see if you can focus on this when we get through with this. Extroversion versus introversion is an individual's interpersonal style, preferred approach to social interaction. Then we have sensing versus intuition, how individuals make sense of the world and approach new ideas. Then we have thinking versus feeling, an individual's approach regarding emotions, feelings, logic, and rationality. Judging versus perceiving, how individuals make decisions and actively deal with the external world. And we're going to types versus trait, model personality. Types and scales represented distinct approaches to personality theory and individual differences more generally. Types, discrete categories, traits, continuous dimensions. So here's types. Type-based personality theories hold that individuals can be classified into categories based on their character and temperament. These could include, and then we go to traits or trait-based personality theories. They hold that aspects of personality exist on a continuum and are best represented quantitatively using scores. Okay, so we're going to talk about these scores and what this is telling us here. All right. 4 letters of Myers-Briggs: extroversion and introversion, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving, and the types of versus trait model of personality. So I read those to you, and it's types, discrete categories. I'm going to read it again. Hello, Lady Patsy. Good evening, good afternoon. So glad you're with me today. So glad you're with me. I like this because it is so good and interesting. So interesting. So I'm going to turn the camera back on. Okay. These sinuses. I usually have allergies, but my sinuses are affecting me today. So I have to be kind of careful. I want to make sure I'm presentable on here. So I'm going to go. Hi, there I am again. Let me go ahead and go into this. All right, because this is very interesting. Types, discrete categories. Type-based personality theories hold that individuals can be could be classified into categories based on their character and temperament. And these could include, and I know I read those before, but I want to do that again. And I didn't read what they include, which is extrovert versus introvert. And then the next is type A versus type B. Then there's INTJ versus ENTJ. And then we go with the traits, continuous dimensions. Trait-based personality theories hold that aspects of personality exist on a continuum and are best represented quantitatively using scores such as 50th percentile on extroversion. Next is the thin score of 7 on introversion. And then there's the Z score of negative 0.87 on agreeableness. All right. So that's STEM. It says STEM, so I don't know what it says. Yes, it's STEM score. Not all personality theories are exclusively type or trait based. Some combine the two approaches to give a more holistic view of human personality. So, working with personality types as opposed to continuous personality traits has a number of practical advantages. Personality types often they offer a far simpler account of human personality and thus allows the pars- parsimony principle more closely. All right. So many trait-based assessments measures 20 to 40 plus personality skills, providing a wealth of information to trained psychologists and psychometricians. but very little to everyday people. Because this is my first time today hearing about a psychometrician. When you hear about psychologists, we hear that word very, very often, but a psychometrician, I've never heard that before. But very little to everyday people. A single overall personality type, however, can be easily explained and communicated, ensuring that lay people get the most from their personality reports. Moreover, personality types do not require specialist knowledge of psychometric scaling, for example, Z scores, T scores, STEN scores, that's STEN, etc. And this are far more accessible and interpretable to regular people. Okay, so the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical sustainers. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And that's by Carl Jung. And that was a saying of his and a study of his, a conclusion, I guess, in a study in 1933. Perhaps the most common use of personality type based assessments is to fascinate personal and professional development, and it's to facilitate it. So often these assessments are part of a wider personal and professional development plan designed by a coach or T&D professional, helping individuals to structure their personal development. And so many times we act a certain way or we feel a certain way sometimes, and we react and react, and sometimes we don't understand it ourselves. So these studies help us to understand, hey, this might be my trait, this might be my type, this might be what's going on with me. And I think this is really, 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 really good information for us because I understand so much since I started studying this self-esteem probably about 30, 40 years ago. I understand so much more about it, starting with the self-esteem and then the psychological part of personalities and all of that. And this has really helped me out because years ago, like when I first started webcasting, which was probably 2011, 2010, something like that, I learned out what personality type I am. And I said, oh, that's why, that's why I am the way I am. And then I understood then, and that helped explain lots and lots of things to me. And I am so glad about these studies. They really helped me. I take it personally because it helped me so much. So much. I'm still here. Just want you to know, and I am still here. They have helped me so much, and that's why I like to share so much. I really do. I love sharing. I really love sharing. And I will, as long as the Lord blesses me, I will continue to share what I can with everyone that I can because I know in the long run that it helps all of us because we are able to understand who we are and why we act a certain way, why we respond to certain things a certain way. We understand these things, and I think that is magnificent that we are able to understand and know ourselves better and better. Other times, individuals complete their assessments anonymously, identifying the personality type to help create a development plan themselves. In either case, knowing one's personality type reveals certain strengths overplayed strengths, and development needs which are unique to that type, providing direction for personal development. And that's exactly what I was saying. When we understand, then we know how to deal with it and what direction to go in to be able to deal with it. All right? So, career selection and person fit is another major use of personality type based assessment. Person fit, okay? Research suggests that optimal career choice depends partly on the individual's personality. And I believe that. For example, extroverts are disappropriately likely to seek sales roles as they were well suited to interpersonal communication. They're well suited. Okay, so therefore, identifying one's personality type can help hone decisions regarding work, in ensuring uh, congruence between the individual and their chosen career path. Similarly, once already in the workforce, knowing one's personality type helps ensure person job fit, person culture fit, and even person organization fit. Crucial elements that determine work engagement. Overall, personality type based assessments are ideal for summarizing key aspects of an individual's personality and communicating real world implications of their behavioral style. That is so true. And this is by Ellie Simmons, MSc, University of Bath Psychology. All right, thank you so much for that. I like that. Personality Data Project. And then I will go, so we understand what she's talking about. And they have a test here. So you can go to that site if you want to take that test. Now we go to this. It tells us that there are five. I wanted to go to the 16. So that is here somewhere, not really further down here as I go along because I want to get into the 16. Uh, there's a test you can take in here also. So let me go back up here to the beginning up here and talk about these types. And I did name them. So when I said I would not go into that 16 personality traits, the types, excuse me, 16 of them, and I know I saw a list of them here. There's so much information here. I did see a list. Let me see what this is going to take. Okay, the protagonist. And they call it, the acronym for this is ENFJ type, the protagonist. ENFJs are drawn to callings that are greater than themselves. Full of idealism, they strive to impact the world and those around them in a positive way. Talking about the protagonist, okay? In a positive way, they tend to relish the opportunity to do good, even if doing so is difficult. ENFJs are natural leaders and forward thinkers. All right. Their natural charisma and passion for doing good can help inspire others. It is no surprise that many successful politicians and teachers are ENFJs. The joy it can give them to coach and help others and loved ones is their catalyst to reach self actualization. Wow, the protagonist. Are you a protagonist? What do you think? Do you see yourself in there as a protagonist? So see if you can find yourself in here. Okay? See if you can find yourself in here. So that's the ENFJ type, which is the protagonist. Now, born leaders, supporters, and communicators. They sense the motivations of others and gain fulfillment by helping others to live their full potential. Often they occupy positions of power, and because they crave leadership, not because they crave leadership, but because they genuinely want the world to be a better place. And they are not comfortable sitting by while the progress is made. Okay? They don't want to sit idly by. They want to be a part of the progress. ENFJs live with a solid moral compass that guides their decision making, even when it isn't easy. The primary driver for the ENFJ personality is a sense of duty to what is best for the community. So that is the ENFJ type personality, and that we were talking about the protagonist. So I'm going through this grid here. And next I'm going to the INTP, and that's the logician. Okay, the INTP type, the logician. Let's see what that is about, right? And INTP is highly introspective and will, more often than not, be deep in thought, solving countless problems and puzzles in their minds. Now we know how they're classified, okay? The INTP personality type is an overview of that personality type. Wow, this is neat, isn't it? Highly analytical, and INTP will analyze every little thing they come across in a Sherlock Holmes manner. Even after events, the INTP will think over past events and overanalyze things people said or how they themselves acted. This constant thinking can sometimes turn negative and leave the INTP feeling dissatisfied with their actions of life. So, have you ever been told, or have you ever uh, been around a person and told them you're overthinking this, you're reading too much into it? Have you been told that? INTP, okay? And the INTP principles, which are the core principles behind the INTP, INTP stands for, here we go, introverted, intuitive, thinking, and perceiving. That's what it means, okay? It means intuitive, introverted, thinking, and perceiving. INTP personality types are proud of their intelligent way of looking at the world. They have very often uh, creative minds and thrive in the right academic environment suited to them. They are inquisitive by nature and can enjoy finding creative solutions to problems. INTPs can try to view situations from different perspectives, and they are inclined to collect evidence which will help them identify the most logical decision. They are highly practical and are more likely to follow their mind rather than their heart. You know anybody like that? INTPs are one of the rarest personal types, and they can be seen as quiet, perhaps even a little guarded by some, but there is great depth in their person, which they will share with a select few people close to them. So here's how to spot the INTP, okay? INTPs seek logical solutions to their problems. Next, they will solve problems in unique ways. Next, getting lost in their own thoughts is characteristic of an INTP. INTP's curiosity may sometimes never be satiated. Okay? So asking big questions. Asking big questions. INTP personality types are likely to not shy away from difficult questions and hard truths. They have a desire to know more, and their love for learning can take many forms, not just by asking questions, but picking ideas apart through inward thought. INTPs can enjoy sharing their passion for a topic at quite some length. Oh, yeah, we know people like that, don't we? Don't we? That they will, and they're often very well educated on many topics. They tend to seek love, discussing the big questions with people who are on a similar intellectual level. They can be perceived as standoffish, but that couldn't be further from the truth. INTPs are introverted by nature, so they are discerning about who they expend their social energy on. Oh my goodness. INTPs can prefer to carefully cultivate a smaller group of friends with which they are on a similar level too, even if their beliefs and interests may differ. If their beliefs and their interests may differ. So this offers them a healthy variety of stimulation with the right accepting company. Then we talk about the daydreamers. The mind is constantly whirring away for many INTPs. They may find themselves lost in thoughts, seeking to improve whatever it is they are dwelling on. While they are extremely logical thinkers, they are not always interested in the most efficient answers. They enjoy creative solutions and will often daydream about multiple ways to solve a problem. They like having choices at their fingertips and are willing to expend a lot of mental energy coming up with these choices. So, this particular quality is certainly admirable, but it does have a downside, and I should say admirable, okay? The mind of an INTP may sometimes be overwhelming, and the ideas which spring up change so quickly that it can be difficult sticking to a particular course of action. Man, don't we understand that? And the friends of INTPs know that they are constantly absorbing and processing new information to make the right choices. Then they have an analytical mind. Then they're global thinkers. Oh my goodness. Wow. this is good, and I can't. I'm not going to stay on the INTP because there's more that I have to go through on these other personalities, and I've just gotten into this chart. My goodness, this is so good. It's messing with my mind here, but I'm going to stay on course. Okay, I'm going to stay on course. That was the INTP. Now I'm going back and to get there. These people drive so fast on the street till it is dangerous. That's the INTJ, which is an architect. The INTP is a logician, and the ENTJ is a commander. So let's talk about the commander, and I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to go as far as I can go. We're just on number three of this personality type, or the 16 personality types. And this is interesting, so we know that this will be an extended. We'll probably do another part two and maybe a part three of this because I feel like it's very important for us to just delve into different parts of things that we sometimes don't think about on an everyday thinking. So these things are very interesting to me, and I like to share. I know that there are people out there that know this, but then there are some people who don't know it, and I can bring it to their attention. I love to learn and I love to share what I have learned. Thank you so much for being with me, Lady Patsy, and everyone out there with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Uh, NT, ENTJ is a commander. ENTJ is a commander. The ENTJ overview. The key principles of the ENTJ personality type with global survey data. So in ENTJs are leaders by their very nature. They tend to have a charismatic and confident personality and are able to bring people together in facing a singular shared goal. Of course, this can mean that ENTJs have the capacity to be remorselessly rational, setting themselves to complete a task with a dogged determination and drive that can result in some marginalization. So their overwhelming nature can smother the more timid and sensitive personalities, and they can clash as a result. So, nevertheless, the ENTJs are likely to be great achievers in business or public institutions, and they tend to assert their presence into anything to which they set their mind, heart, and soul. And so the ENTJ, I'm trying to get to this. Okay, here it is. The ENTJ principles. What are the core principles behind the ENTJ personality type? People with the ENTJ personality type are often leaders, organizers, and logical decision makers. ENTJs tend to be excellent planners, abstract thinkers, and problem solvers with a personality for leading the change for action. Their enthusiasm and motivation for great achievement fuel their personal career. The ENTJ is characteristically direct, and while they may not show much emotion themselves, they are aware of others' feelings and can navigate them with practice. They are among the rarest of personality types. Because of the high standards they set for themselves, their Weaknesses usually come in the form of impatience and intolerance, but only when those around them are not as driven to success as they are. Now, in general, all ENTJs display these traits. They are one of the most driven of all personality types. Next, they can see the big picture, formulate a plan of attack, and execute that plan. Next, they are relentless. And the next here is they know their worth. They know their worth. Now, ENTJ has a desire to take change in most environments. They possess the interpersonal skills to inspire action from others, the perception to identify the problem, and the planning to solve it. This approach to life makes them naturally fit well into the corporate monarchy or hierarchy, excuse me. ENTJs are dominant in their ventures and often reach the high bar they set for themselves. They said they often reach it. Okay? ENTJs have the charisma and confidence to attract others to follow their lead. Oh my goodness. And I'm trying to find ENT, must be extroverts recharge. I'm trying to find what the acronym means here, but it didn't start out like the other one did. So it's the ENTJ, and I will find that. And they have relentless persistence. So when a goal has been identified, the ENTJ becomes an unstoppable force. So extroverts recharge by spending time in the company of other people. So we know that the E stands for extrovert. Extrovert. All right, I'm gonna go back because there's so much of this, but I need to finish this because like I said, we'll have a part two and maybe a part three, but I think it's worth it. I really believe that it's worth it. I really do. Effective. Talking about the ENTJ being effective. The ENTJ has a highly efficient productive mindset. Inefficiency is strongly frowned upon by the ENTJ. They are quick to find the path of least resistance and just as quick to act upon it. So, through careful planning and immediate action, ENTJs can get anything done, and they can often get it done faster than their peers. ENTJs always seek efficiency. It's a part of why emotions are seen as unimportant when making decisions. They derail the train of thought from moving smoothly forward. My goodness. They're relentless and persistent. When they have a goal and that goal has been identified, then that becomes an unstoppable force. The ENTJ becomes an unstoppable force. Extroverts recharge by spending time in the company of other people. They have a strong self image. A strong self image. My goodness, this is so good. Oh my goodness, they get the figures and everything. What percent of the population is ENTJ and all. I'm going back and go to talking about the ENTJ principles. and the overview and all of that. Wow, this is nice. This is really, really, really nice. I like it. Those 16 types, and that's just the third type right there. So let me go back here. Go back here. Oh, this is wonderful. I like this. And you see, I'm trying to take my time. I'm trying not to get in a big hurry. The ENTP is a debater. Did I go through that? No, that's the fourth one. I just did the commander, which is ENTJ, and the ENTP is the debater. My goodness. And so these right here, this group right here is a type with the analytical focus. The INTJ, which is the architect, the INTP, which is the magician, the ENTJ, which is the commander, and the ENTP is the debater. So we're going to get into the ENTP. These are the types with an analytical focus. And then the next step we'll go into, which I won't do today because this is quite uh, a lot. Okay, so the next is types with a resolve focus. Okay, but today we're dealing with the analytical focus, the ones with the analytical focus. So let's go to ENTP. ENTP, and that's four of the 16 types. And the ENTP overview, key principles of the ENTP personality type with global survey data. And this is the principles. Let's ENTPs are natural dreamers and debaters, relishing any chance they get to exercise their let me get this word right, effortlessly quick wit, wide base of knowledge, and ability to prove an effective point. As a result, ENTPs likewise tend to be natural polemics, polemics, readily playing the role of devil's advocate in order to push and test arguments into their limits, not just for the thrill of the exercise, but to prove themselves and to prove themselves and others that they have the capacity to do this. And I've seen some typos here, so that should be to prove to themselves and others they have the capacity to do this. So there doesn't have to be a great reason to debate either. It can be just for the sake of debate itself. While this can clash with some other more conflict averse personality types, their charisma, conversational nature, and ability to deconstruct the obvious is sought after in business as well as general problem solving. As general problem solving. Hello, Sonia Wade. Hi. Thank you so much for being with me. Hi. What are the core principles behind the type ENTP? All right. The ENTP personality type is a dreamer, a visionary, appearing a bit scatterbrained at times, a conversationalist, and a rational creator. ENTPs love to be the ones to synthesize the data of others, point to the vision of the future, and let others work to execute on that vision. As conversationalists, They are known to play the devil's advocate. This conversational stance may rub others the wrong way, but it's how the ENTP evaluates an idea. What's a more effective way to understand a point than trying to argue against it? So, in general, the ENTPs display these traits. These are the traits of the ENTP. They are creative visionaries. They are masters of language and conversation. They prefer to avoid the details, and they will play the devil's advocate. So, intuitive data synthesizers. They have a knack of seeing the big picture. Their skill lies in consuming as much information as possible and then pulling conclusions from the abstract. Well, I like this. They tend to find it easier to see the patterns that others miss. This is awesome. They play the devil's advocate. And I want to, I don't know why I didn't get, we know it's extrovert, NTP. Let's just see here, because I want to, let me see. Well, let's see, ENTP, personality. If I can get this here. Well, I know it didn't bring up what I want to bring up, so I'll just close it out. The personality isn't one to be boxed in. You can't box in an ENTP personality. The doldrums of routine wear on them, and ENTPs need some leeway in how they are permitted to tackle their challenges. So variety is the spice of life for the ENTP. And then, of course, we know that they play the devil's advocate. They find paths, their empathy for others by stepping into their shoes and taking on their viewpoints. I like that. It helps them refine their opinions and their theories. And this personality type relishes the intellectual sparring that can come. So they like to have those intellectual discussions, kind of testy like. To understand an idea, the NTP sometimes steps into the shoes of someone countering the idea. And they're a candid communicator, and there's a data and everything about that. So let me go back. So I'm going to close out today because that's a lot for me too. That's been a lot for me. And so I want to do this announcement. Thank you so much for being here with me. The announcement is that on Saturday in Denison, two people that I know very well will be funeralized at 11 a.m. Kathy Coleman Roberts will be funeralized at Trinity Lighthouse Church in Denison at 11 a.m. And Carol Ransom Cooper will be funeralized at the Mount Olive Baptist Church in Denison, Texas. That's on Scullin Avenue at 11 a.m. And we're praying for the families and asking God to give the strength that they need and the encouragement and the comfort that they need. And then on the 26th, Arnita Williams will be funeralized here in Dallas, and it will be at the Golden Gate Funeral Home here in Dallas, Texas. So those are the announcements that I have for that, for the loved ones, and we're praying for each family, each and every one. And tomorrow, tomorrow, God willing, I'm launching my new show, and it is called The Mother's Board. And I have ladies, and I haven't asked everybody that I want to ask yet. So that I have ladies who have consented to be a part of the Mother's Board for tomorrow. That would be Claudine Collins, Janice McCollister, Linda Magshan Wilson will be a part of tomorrow's show. And they say, if you want to solve the problems of the world, then ask one of us, a woman of our ethnicity. If you want to solve the problems of the world, just ask her. So we're not going to be haphazardly talking about things. That's not it. We're going to have our information, have our facts as we have researched, and we're going to talk about some things tomorrow. So at 1 p.m., please join the Mother's Board. At 1 p.m., God willing, right here on the World Wide Web. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate you for being here with me. And whenever you're watching this, whatever day, whatever evening, whatever morning, whatever afternoon, whatever night, whenever you see this, whatever year it is, whenever you see this, I thank you and I appreciate you. And the good thing about this information is that it will stand the test of time. It will be here as long as the world is here. And I am very blessed and I am thankful to be able to do this research, find these articles, and find this information, and be able to study myself and then share them with the world wide, all over the world. Thank you so much. I love you so much, and I appreciate you. And God willing, tomorrow, please join the Mother's Board at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for your patience.